What is going on, guys? Triple G here, back with another Outriders video, and today we're going to be going through the Pyromancer class for Outriders, which the demo comes out, very soon on the 25th of February. I'm going to show you why I think that this class is suited to solo players. If you're planning to take on the content, which is 3-player co-op, but you don't have anyone to play with, or don't fancy risking the dice with the matchmaking, then the Pyromancer, I think, is the class for you. Guys, if you enjoy this video, please consider subscribing to the channel or join us over on Twitch. We stream 5 times a week. And otherwise, let's get straight into this video. So the Pyromancer is an area of effect character. It's going to be using fire, fire bombs, fire abilities to control the field, as well as freeze the field momentarily when needed to, in order for you to gain control. This ability to freeze and control the field will make it tailored really well to actual solo players. They don't have as much health and toughness as some of the other classes, so you will have to rely on that control of the field as well as some savvy combos to get yourselves through the content. If you like characters that control the field really well and do a ton of damage in combination, then the Pyromancer is definitely going to be from you. As I said before, the Pyro can actually technically freeze enemies momentarily using his ash attack. Enemies that have been placed on fire can get frozen still in ash, and effectively this will freeze them in place for a few seconds, allow you to recover into a better position or tee them up for another combo. One thing that looks really powerful in the game is the thermal bomb attack, which allows you that you can kind of proc from anywhere in the map. It will go underneath cover and hit enemies. Those enemies will be propelled up into the air on death and do kind of like a firefly attack, which you will have maybe seen from the old Fatebringer from Destiny 1. The Pyromancer also has a couple of melee options. The first, if stationary, you can melee forward in an arc in front of you, whereas if you are running, you will effectively do a Titan slam on the floor, doing a kind of another bit of area of effect damage. Healing for the Pyro can be pretty tricky if you're just going to be using weapons alone, but if you use your abilities, you're able to mark multiple targets at once, and anybody that is marked across the field and dies will give you healing, and that doesn't have to be you that clears that enemy. So mark as many enemies as you can, and your teammate could come in and get you that healing. All the characters will have 3 skill tree branches, with the first for the Pyro being the Ashbreaker. This branch will allow you to do more damage to enemies that you have marked. It's worth noticing that some of your skills will mark enemies for you to bring fluidity to the playstyle. So as we said before, you're going to be wanting to not spam, but use effectively your action skills all the time, making sure you're marking the maximum amount of people possible to give you that kind of tanky feel. The second branch is the Firestorm branch. Now this branch is really interesting because this buffs your action skill damage and anomaly power for your Pyromancer. So that means you can expect your skills to do a ton of damage. So if you are like a kind of minimalist gun player and you just want to be using your action skills for maximum effectiveness, bear in mind that when you're using them, you're marking them, so you're becoming even more of a tank as well. You're going to see some really good damage numbers when you go that way. The third and final branch is the Tempest, which on the face of it kind of looks like a tank build. You can boost your health to really high amounts and take a damage reduction, which makes playstyles such as a melee and short range weapons, maybe like a shotgun, because you're going to be able to get up close and personal with them. I see myself mixing the Tempest and the Firestorm together because, you're going to want action skill damage, and you're also going to want to, get up close and personal. The key to the builds are going to be, actually doing action skill damage to people, setting people on fire. So you are marking those enemies, enabling you to heal effectively and therefore being able to stay at close range. We've only seen a few of these skills so far, but already I can see the Pyromancer being kind of the safe class, the one that if you're a new player to loot shooters or just a new player in general like we all are, this is the kind of entry level, this is what we're going to do. The Pyromancer can also be very effective as a team. You are doing massive amounts of crowd control, so you are weakening a ton of enemies. You're maybe freezing a ton of enemies as well. So as a teammate, you can have your other players running in there doing massive amount of damage to these immobilized and weakened enemies that you've teed up for them. So guys, that is it for today's video. If you have enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. We will be looking at the other 3 classes all the way running up to the demo. If you have enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel or join us over on Twitch. We're going to be streaming this 5 times a week. And otherwise, I'll catch you on the flip.